How's it going, guys? I'm Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Yeah, I was so close. This is Who Watches This. Yeah. What's going on, guys? We are on the second movie of our sci-fi movie month.
Right. And by sci-fi, we don't mean like science fiction. We mean sci-fi like Syfy Channel.
Yeah, as Big Bang Theory likes to call it, Syfy.
Syfy month.
And so, obviously, you guys listen, or hopefully you guys listened to last week's episode where we did Arachnoquake. One of my favorite natural disaster movies.
It was amazing.
But this week we decided to do, I guess, like a thriller or horror thriller.
Right. More of a thriller, like a psychological thriller almost, but like a thriller. Kind of actually goes back like a few months ago. We did like The Cube and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, trap movies. This is actually a really kind of surprised me when I first started going through my on-demand free movie stuff. And I thought this was going to be like sort of like an exploitation film of Escape Room that came out in 2019.
Right.
But Syfy did it first for once.
And lots of times Syfy's got those movies and like the first 15 minutes of it really gets you hooked and then it goes into like ridiculousness. This one didn't.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid film, and I feel like maybe someone in America saw this and I was like, oh my god, we gotta do it in America, but just call it Escape Room instead of No Escape Room.
Right. So
if you guys didn't catch that, we watched No Escape Room. I think in 2018, I think that's when Escape Room started to really take off, right?
Yeah. And so,
it was a good time for this movie to come out, but of course it's on the Syfy Channel, so it wasn't on a lot of people's radars.
No, it wasn't. But I mean, like there was a lot of movies on Syfy that I caught just because I always have Syfy. Like that's my background channel. So there's lots of movies I've caught. I did not see this one before. I had not heard about it or anything until you pointed it out.
Right. Well, it just feels like it feels different from actual like the normal sci-fi movies that they always like play, like Zombie Shark.
Right.
Sharknado took a lot of the time slots of that channel.
Right. And I could definitely see this being like one of their Halloween, like they're like, hey, 30 days or the 31 days of Halloween.
Oh, yeah, maybe,
where they show a little bit more, a little horror, a little less science fiction, a little bit more horror.
Oh, see, yeah. And so, we can go to the premise of the actual film. It's
Escape Room.
The short version of it is a father and daughter are on a road trip, sort of, and then they decide to go to an escape room after the car breaks down, and then shenanigans occur.
It's a good way to say it.
Shenanigans. Oh man, but I mean, so I kind of wanted to switch up a little things. Instead of asking towards the end of our little breakdown of the film, did you watch the trailer before you actually?
I did not. I went straight into it.
Oh, I just went blind.
Yep.
So like I mean, you've seen the cover art for it. So what did you think about it before you started the film?
I don't. You just said watch this, and I was like, okay. Really, kind of no expectations. I was kind of thinking it was going. I guess actually, I didn't think Escape Room like the.
Oh, the game.
Like the game, I was thinking more of like. People trapped in a room and they were trying to escape. There was no escape from this room. Like it's why everybody went to go see The Room and then they locked the doors to the theater and no one could escape and you had to sit through the whole movie.
Wait, which The Room? The Academy Award winning Room with Brie Larson? Or The Room with, what's his name? I know you know the name of the guy. Tommy
Wiseau.
There. So I mean, when I first saw this pop up, I also thought it was just maybe, I think I knew it was about escape rooms, but I didn't think it was gonna be like anything really special. When I saw the description of it on the TV, I was just like, oh, I came in with like it's gonna be very campy. It's gonna be like really like Final Destination 3 type of deaths in it,
right?
Where like they're trapped and they can't get out, and then death comes for them all, type of deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can get into the movie now. So we start off with a little text message of "Please help, get me out of here." So we're already thinking that the movie's not going to give us any context to what's happening. I thought it was just going to be thrown into there, right?
Right. Yeah.
But apparently, it's just the teenage daughter hating the fact that she is on a road trip with her dad to go to some ranch that was closed, and so they're driving on the way back.
Right, because apparently parents are separated. He only gets her like 1 week in a month, and so he's trying to make it a special weekend.
Which, I mean, it sounds unfair. I feel like, aren't you like supposed to switch off? I don't know how.
Depends on how the court thing, especially if you they live in different towns, it's usually not 50-50.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, right? Or it's usually like, I have her for the school year, you have her for the summer type of deal.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so they're on the way back. The dad's really trying to really connect back with his daughter. But, she's a 16-year-old teenager who's just on her phone listening to music.
Right.
She ignoring...
Doesn't want anything to do with parents.
Well, she's probably just sort of like kind of over it.
Yeah.
I don't know how... It never tells you how long they've been divorced or how long they've been separated. But it's just a dad who's trying.
Right.
Which is nice,
No, definitely.
But then before they could really get into it, the car breaks down. So he's trying to fix the car. And he's calling her like, Karen, go get me the towels. Okay, full disclosure. This dad totally felt like Stan Marsh from South Park. Like, later on to the film when he's trying to look for his daughter.
Yes.
Karen, where are you? Stan. But yeah, and then when she goes
I'm glad you didn't say that before I saw the movie, because that would have I would have not been able to not see that
or hear her. But yeah, so she goes to grab the rags, but then she almost gets hit by a truck.
Right,
so
she's just too busy on her phone,
on her damn phone with these young kids. I just remember going on road trips with my mom and hating every second of it, just because there's nothing to do in the car.
Yeah. I've played the
license plate game. Or I Spy.
Yep.
If you have your cousin with you or something like that. But yeah, and so they end up going to a diner after somehow getting their car towed to this nearby town. Father's still trying to make a connection. He's like, oh, I feel like I'm striking out here. Let's just try to do something fun while the car is going to take the whole day to fix.
Yeah.
And so he's going through the
like the local newspaper,
like a goddamn caveman. There's Yelp, even in the smallest of towns. There's a Yelp page for their businesses. But he's going through it. He's like suggesting kids theater, mini golf,
bowling,
which all you could have all done that at home, right? But he finds an escape room, which he remembers his daughter had talked about wanting to go because her friends went to San Francisco and did one. Yeah. She's totally not interested because she feels like in this backwater town, it's not going to be like this really, really intense.
Right, yeah. I think it's going to be...
Like, it's just going to be in some dude's basement or garage. And, I could really attest to that.
Carnival escape room, yeah.
Well, I could really attest to that because when I went to Chicago... we wanted to do an escape room before I left, like a day before I left or something like that, and my cousin found one, but it was in the mall parking lot in a trailer, and I felt really bad for my cousin because she pretty much like helped raise me, and so she always pays for like a lot of shit that I want to do if I come visit her. Right. And we paid way too much for that really dinky escape room. Like, but you know what? Kudos to the guy who's trying to make it. Trying to do something.
Yeah, you do what you can.
Right. But so they asked one of the waitresses at the restaurant that they're staying at if they've ever heard of the escape room, and she gets really serious. It's almost like the harbinger of death type of deal. Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's the gas station attendant before the cabin in the woods.
Right.
Exactly. But she's like, oh, don't go there. People that go there are like, they never come back or never seen again. But then she bursts out laughing.
Right. Really, when she's given the explanation, in my head, I'm like, I don't see them going to this escape room because that sounds terrifying.
But then she bursts out laughing, and it's such a weird moment. But I mean, it works for the movie.
Right.
But it's just like,
and it totally sells him. Because he's like, oh my God, after Big Bertha here told us not to ever go there, we gotta go.
But yeah, she's like, oh yeah, let him know. Oh no, her name was Betsy.
Betsy.
Tell them
I knew
Betsy
it was a B.
sent you. I knew it was a lunch lady room name. But yeah, I mean, even after the bursting out of laughing and all that stuff, after that whole explanation, would you have taken Sierra to
Oh, I totally would have. After that, yeah. Like, while she was explaining it, I'm like, nope. And then, like, she laughed, and she's like, yeah, tell him Betsy sent you. I would have totally been like, oh, we're going. And Sierra would have been exactly the same, because she's 16, and she would have been like, really, Dad, this is what we're doing. And I'd be like, hell yes.
Oh man, but yeah, so they end up before going, she goes to the bathroom, and she actually has the necklace that her dad had asked if she still wears, but then like the lights start flickering, and then she hears like a noise in the stall, so she's like freaked out.
Right, but there's somebody spying on her from the stall.
Right, you know, and only in America do we have that gap between the stalls. All right, you know, like. Where is the privacy? But before she could investigate, Betsy comes out and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey." And then and it's really weird because this girl is just getting really mad at her dad at some points where he's just asking like normal stuff.
Right. But let me tell you, I get a teenager. That is so 100%. That like well acted.
Well, I'm just saying, like, he was like, oh, can I read that paper that you got? And she was like, no, Dad.
Yep.
And then he's just like, hey, and he's like in the bathroom. Well, when she's in the bathroom, she's like, hey, Karen, hurry up. And she's like, oh my God, Dad, why? Jesus. But they end up going.
Whoever wrote this had a team.
Oh man, but they end up going to the escape room from a taxi. Daughter's like, why didn't you just have it drive up to the door? He's like, oh, save more money, and we need a little bit more cardio.
And it was a funny joke, and she would nothing to do with that joke.
Just like a 16-year-old teenager.
Mm-hmm.
They do not understand the beauty of dad jokes until they're like 25.
Right.
But like, okay, so like first impressions of the actual escape room, would you have gone in?
Oh, the house was awesome. I would have loved to do an escape room in there.
No, see, I need to do an escape room that has like a Subway or a Quiznos right next to it. Like a Peter Piper pizza, a Pizza Hut, anything. I need it to be in a shopping center.
Oh, see, I want to go to I want my escape room to be like in a dark alley, like in an old abandoned warehouse. You know, I want it to.
See, that's how you get stuck in the murder party, Kobe.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally get the allure of like doing it in like this old Victorian looking house.
It was an awesome house. I would have liked to own it.
Would you have opened up a comic book shop?
If I bought it and it looked like it did, I don't even think I would revamp most of the rooms. I would just leave them as is.
No, see, one of the things that freaked me out about American history is Victorian-style houses. Any house that's older than 100 years, I do not want to live in. Because you know why? Those houses are really cheap. And knowing Asian people, because I'm Asian, we totally would have got that house. Like, what? What is it, like 80% below property value? Yes, we'll take it. And then we'll just bless it, think it's okay.
Right. We'll learn to live with the ghosts.
For a house for $50,000, yes, we will. I don't know. See, when I saw it, I told her, I needed to be in a shopping center. It could still be haunted, but it's like more like a false sense of security.
Right. Yeah. No. I get that.
But then it would also freak me out if there's a Quiznos next to it, because that's also dead. But yeah, so they enter the house. On the front door, it just says "Welcome." It doesn't even have like a sign like haunted escape rooms.
Right. Yeah. It really kind of just looks like a house with a one little wooden welcome sign. Like, I would have felt awkward to just walk in.
Right? It totally looked like a house that they do like the embalming of dead bodies. Like, I don't know what those are called, like mortuaries or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they end up knocking on the door because like it's locked, and then it just opens by itself. Which, I mean, if you're like, if they advertise itself as like a haunted like escape room, kudos.
Right.
Because then you totally would have been down for that, I feel like. But they enter the house. There's no desk. It just looks like just a normal house.
Right. Yeah, you kind of walk into the drawing room, kind of.
Yeah, and then like they walk in, no one's there until like it pans back to the daughter, Karen, and it's just this one girl in Victorian style clothing, and she's like, "Whoa, my God, how did you get in here?" And then she like totally like flips right away, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're back."
Yep.
Which is,
you made it just in time.
Which is already like kind of sketchy, but in your mind you're just thinking like, "Oh, they're really playing it up here."
Right.
I think that would have made you way more excited. Like, oh my gosh. So
it was like, this is how an escape room in Disneyland would be. You walk into a Victorian style house, there's no one there, and then all of a sudden, poof, there's a lady there. She's in costume. She's playing the part.
And so she takes them into the waiting area, sort of like the green room. And there's actually already 3 other participants in there.
Yes.
Which I'm guessing they were also like taxied there because there's no cars on the outside.
Oh, right.
And it's a couple. I forgot her name. Tyler and Michelle.
Yep.
And Andrew, who is by himself, which is already weird.
Right.
Throughout the film, I just called him Captain Pedo Bear. Because he so as Karen and Michael go sit down, they get settled in. They're all introducing each other. Andrew, or AKA Captain Pedo Bear, is like, "Oh, I'm a plant. I work with the house." And he's like, "No, dude, I'm here."
Right. Yeah.
And then and then the daughter laughs. She's like,
because he's handsome.
He's a handsome fella, but it's just really weird. And then the dad kind of sees it. It's like, no.
Yep.
I need you to stay away, as far away from my daughter as possible.
Right.
But then Josie, the girl.
That was at the couple.
House. No, Josie. The Victorian style employee walks in. She gives everybody like a drink which has dry ice in it.
Right.
I think that's the only thing.
Bubbling tea.
They all drink it. Well, Michelle says it tastes like chai tea, so everyone decides to drink it.
And then like Michelle and her
Tyler,
honey and Tyler, she's a advocate of these. Like, she sounds like she's been to a bunch, and she just kind of like, as they travel, it's like that's their thing, is go to escape. Well, that's her thing, and he hates them, but he's playing the boyfriend and going because it's her birthday.
Doth it's my birthday. But yeah, and then Andrew, you don't really know why he's there. He's just there,
right?
Until later on to the film. But they drink the tea, they sign the waivers, which it is actually pretty standard. I've seen people sign waivers,
right?
And then she plays this really old film.
That is creepy.
But if you paid attention to the actual cuts that you see of it, there's little Easter eggs. Like,
okay.
Spoiler alert, Tyler gets hanged, and it's in one of the frames. that he's swinging from it. And another spoiler alert, Andrew, a.k.a. Captain Pedo, you see him getting dragged from a vent, but you only see, like, the top of his head and his hands. But I was like, oh, I remember that scene because I watched this movie 3 times already. But everybody feels unsettled because after the lights come on from the film, Josie is gone.
Right.
And they just suddenly go into the first room. And so, I don't know if you guys ever been in an escape room, but you're supposed to, like, touch everything, move everything.
You're looking for clues.
There's a little flirting going on between Captain Pedo and Karen. The dad tries to split it up.
Yep.
Which, like, when I saw it, it's just hilarious because you could totally see that every dad's going to do that. You know, this handsome, maybe 25 to 28-year-old is talking to your daughter, making her laugh.
Right.
You got to shut that down.
Yes.
But, you know, they find interesting things in there, like ayahuasca. They find a lot of herbs. It's like almost like it's a study.
Right, yep.
And, and then Andrew, he finds...
They kind of put it together that it's the South American room because there's South American masks. There's some...
The herbs, the ayahuasca. But then Andrew finds a record player. Karen finds vinyl.
Yeah.
And they decide to play it, and then they see that the song is actually correlating with the mask in the room. And so they arrange the mask in the order of the song, which opens the safe.
And it's like one of those things that I would have never, ever put together, but it is well put together by Karen. No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, I think it's like a whole team because they all figured it out.
But the girl who's been to a bunch of these is really like, oh, listen to this. Look for things that are matching colors. Mm-hmm. Look for things that are really out of place. Those are the kind of things that we're looking for to clue up.
Yeah, and so when they play the song, she notices the mask and puts it in the right order. But then the lock comes up, the safe, and then they need to find the combination.
Right.
But then this is where I believe, Tyler, he takes off one of the masks and he puts it to his face. And all I could think about was Jim Carrey doing the...
I was
like, oh my God.
I was getting that vibe as well.
But he's looking through the room, but he looks at his hand and notices, like, worms under his skin, like, crawling all over.
Yeah.
Which would have freaked me out because I hate worms. I hate, like, how slimy they are. I hate anything like that. Caterpillars, centipedes, millipedes. It's kind of gross. But Michelle tells him to calm down, not to freak out like before. Apparently, he's bailed on her on these rooms before.
Right. It sounded like it was like they were in a haunted house. Mm-hmm. He bailed on.
Which, I mean, I understand, man. Like, some of these escape rooms are pretty, like, intense because they have, like, actors in there, too.
Right.
And, like, there's ones where, like, they can, like, grab you and throw you into things, which I am not down with.
Right. You can bump me, but don't throw me.
Don't throw me into a fridge or something like that. It was just gonna freak me out. But yeah, so Andrew, he's still investigating, and he turns on the light that was underneath the mask and finds out there's numbers on them.
Yeah.
And so they arrange it into the order that opened the safe, and then they see that the numbers are on the mask, open the safe, and then boom, clear room number 1.
Right.
And then they go into the next room, which is like sort of like, it looks like a telecommunications room because there's like a whole bunch of clocks.
Yep.
And then there's like radio, a ham radio, a telephone. And this is sort of like the first time you ever get a glimpse of like some supernatural things going on.
Yeah.
Because Michelle, she picks up the phone and she's talking into it because she thinks she hears somebody on the other line. But then it turns out to be her. And it's sort of mirroring all the things that she's saying until she asks for Tyler. And then this is like, ooh, this is where it gets a little spooky.
Right.
Tyler's super hesitant because it's like, no, I'm good. Because he was already done, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was like, I thought it was escape room, not escape rooms.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, from the beginning, he's already made it very clear that he's ready to go. And she's like, look, there's a clock on the wall, like the countdown timer. We're only here 60 minutes. it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Just buck it up for 60 minutes, and then we can go do whatever you want to do.
All right, which I'm pretty sure they do all the time.
Right.
But yeah, he answers the phone because he's like, "Who is this?" And it's Michelle on the other line, but she's saying things that the Michelle in the room hasn't said.
Right.
And so he freaks out. Karen notices that there's something going on with his ear. He looks at the receiver, and
worms again.
Worms on the receiver. And if you guys don't know what a receiver is,
it's an old-fashioned phone that was on a cord.
But yeah, he's totally done. He's like, nope, this is just freaking me out. It's super cool that you guys are really into this, but I'm not. And he starts to yell the safe word, which
right? Because they did get a safe word at the beginning.
Yeah, which I think every escape room gets
I'm
it.
Sure, yeah.
Especially the more intense ones. Like,
right, you get in a room and you can't escape, and you have a little bit of claustrophobia or something,
or like a panic attack.
Yep.
And so he's panicking. He's like, awake, awake, awake. The door opens and it shuts right away.
Right. Yes. Second he walks out, it closes.
Yeah. Which I mean, like also like every time they enter a new room, the lock mechanism goes off, and you get this really cool pan into the key.
Right. It reminded me of 13 Ghosts.
Yeah. Oh, that's another movie we gotta do. I really got into 13 Ghosts because I wanted to know all the backstories of the ghosts. Sidetrack. But yeah, so he escapes. Michelle still wants to complete the escape room. So they start to find more clues. They notice the typewriter. Oh no, the first Karen notices the grandfather clock has like a certain, like it's 10:12.
Right.
Or something like that. Then they put it together that they should go to the station 10:12. And the typewriter, all the keys are in the wrong place. And so whatever the message on the radio is saying, they're typing it out.
And then it's writing a new sentence for them.
Yeah, which is 5 before midnight. Karen puts it together because she noticed that the clock wasn't working other than the other clocks. And so she goes, she's like, there's 5 of us. So she puts it 12:05, and then comes down or whatever.
Like a little box drops.
A little box drops from the thing, and then it's a new key.
Yeah.
Which, what they've been having to find to escape these rooms. They finally find the closet, and Andrew's like, oh, it's just a closet.
Yeah, they walk in and it's walls, and it's like a little mini walk-in closet. It's like my grandma's walk-in closet. You go walk in like 3 steps.
Yeah, but Karen and Michael, which is the father and daughter, they explore, they rummage through it, and this is where we get our first little jump scare.
Yeah,
it totally got me. I was like, because Karen is like, oh my god, there's something wet here. And then in the back of my mind, all I could think about was Captain Pedo. It was just like, yeah, there is.
Well, Josie at the beginning, when she was giving the people the waivers and stuff, she was talking about the not the professor, the inventor. It's the inventor's house, and that 5 people went missing. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking that they are now trying to they're finding these 5 people on their way through, mm-hmm. And then it turns out that,
spoiler alert, they are the 5 people.
They are the 5 people. But the thing that was wet in the closet
was Josie. Yeah, she's asking for help. You see that she's been stabbed. And they kind of freak out, and then they leave the room for a quick second, and then the room just automatically closes.
Yeah.
Right?
And at this point now, they're half freaking out and half thinking, this is the coolest game ever.
Well, Michelle is.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god, the acting is so good in this one.
Yeah.
Because she's just like yelling at this Josie who's bleeding on the floor, like, yeah, where's the key? I don't need it. She's totally just like, yeah, because, I mean, if you've played enough of these, you're kind of just like, you want to solve the puzzles.
Yep.
Because maybe you're on a time attack. Because, like, you get to take the photo at the end, and it shows how long it took you to solve this whole puzzle. And so her and I believe it's Andrew. They're like sort of like, it's just a game, man. Don't worry about it. You know, she's probably heading back to the desk or something.
Right.
Karen also, she just agrees, like, yeah, she's probably just gonna go back to the desk. And so Andrew's like, oh, we got to get out of here some other way. And they see that I've never actually seen these doors, but there's a door with a little window on top of it.
Right.
Which I think is like is that an old thing?
That's
is that for like ventilation?
Yep.
But obviously,
yeah, because you would have like a house like that would have heat or something like in the main room, and if you had the doors closed, the heat wouldn't get into the bedrooms or the air or whatever.
Yeah,
and so you'd have like little prop open windows above the doors, and that way air could circulate through the house.
Okay, see, it's a history lesson. So Karen, she volunteers because she's the smallest one out of the whole group, and Dad like protests, like, no, I don't want you going out there by yourself. We're stuck in this room. You never know what's gonna happen to you.
Right.
But she's just like, Dad, let me do this.
Dad, it's a game. I just go through the window and I'll open the door from the outside.
So yeah, he finally obliges. They throw her up. Which, I mean, okay, so like, the way she goes out of it is just like, I don't know how... She's not hanging onto anything. She goes head first.
Movie magic, please. We don't look at those things.
Okay. So she does make it onto the next side. It's just a hallway. She can't open the door because it's still locked.
Yeah.
And so she's trying to explore the hallway. There's the windows have bars on it, which is already... bad sign number one. You know, if I need to be able to escape something, I need to throw something on this window. But she sees another door. It's like one of those glass doors you see at the PD, like the doctor's office. You know,
it's all like frosted.
Yeah, it's all frosted. And she's trying to look in there, but then the hand pops out at her, and she freaks out.
Yep.
And then in the dark, Josie is roaming around, calling for her.
Yeah. And she was like, oh, see, Josie wasn't dead. She is on her way up to the front desk. So I'll follow her, and then we'll get the key, and then, they'll let us out because we're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, they're totally done. Like, the dad is sort of, like, freaking out.
Yeah.
She's a little freaked out, too.
But, Dad's mostly freaking out.
Yeah. But for some reason... like movie logic dictates that if a voice is calling you in the dark, that you should follow. So she ends up going sort of to the basement, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And in the moment she enters the basement, the door closes behind her, and then the lock mechanism goes, and then the people that were in the room, Karen, Andrew, and Michael, Michelle, and Andrew. They're able to leave that room.
Right, because one door locking unlocks the other door.
Exactly. But yeah, so while that's happening, this is where we get a Randy Marsh moment, because Michael goes throughout the whole house calling Karen. Karen, where are you? Karen. He's scouring this house though.
Yeah.
He's trying to find her. Karen is actually in the basement in the sort of the medical room, which looks like an embalming room, right?
Yes.
Because there's like a half of a skeleton, the upper half,
right,
just on an examining table. There's like those freezers where you put the bodies in, and this is sort of like where we get the most like supernatural part of it. Because then, like, all of a sudden, everything turns dark, the light starts flickering, and then all those, like, freezer things are open.
Yeah.
And then and then all of a sudden, the light flickers, and then there's a body on one of them, and then the other ones are closed now. And this is where we get one of those pulling the sheet moments. Super tense. The music is going. You hear, like, this little heartbeat type of rhythm. Do, do, do. And then she opens it, and it's a dead body.
Yeah.
Which I was really hoping it wasn't. I was really hoping that, like, when she opened it, there's nothing there. Like a ghost.
Oh, right.
Totally missed out on that. But as she's trying to leave this room, she hears, like, sort of like a growling happening from outside the room. So the smartest decision, of course, is to hide in one of these freezers, right next to the other one that you just pulled over the sheet on. And so while that's happening, Michael, Michelle, and Andrew get locked up in an attic.
Yes.
Because they notice a film reel is going. It's like making that film.
Right, and they hear something, like they hear that.
Yeah.
And so they're thinking, oh, maybe Karen's up there because we hear sound, so.
Yeah, but then the moment they walk in there, they get locked in.
Yep. And that's when he makes the smart-ass remark, why haven't we learned how to prop doors open?
Because I don't think it's going to matter. I feel like it's going to crush anything.
Right, yeah.
But also a good point. Yeah, it's his fault. You know, he was the first one in. No, he was the first one in.
Oh, the first one in.
Michelle was the last one in. But then they see this film reel going. It's like showing more disturbing images, and it just keeps going. They're looking for clues. Michael decides to turn it off because it's giving him a headache. They find a drawer with a lock on it.
At this point, Michael's done with the game. He's looking for a way to get out so that he can go home.
With his daughter. He's looking for his daughter to go home with. But then they figure that the fan up top actually has the code for this drawer lock.
Yeah.
Which is like...
That was a pretty cool trick, too.
Yeah, these escape rooms are hard. It is definitely... I like okay, little side note. Escape rooms always tell you to like, oh yeah, we host corporate events for team building exercises. No. Because then you could finally find out who's the dumbest in your office. You could be like, I told you Steven doesn't know how to make copies.
I jump back in my head to like the Belko experiment, and like everybody's trapped, and then one guy just has a gun, and he's like, okay, I'm going to start shooting people.
But exactly, it is not a good idea. I need these escape rooms to stop advertising as such. But yeah, they figure out that the fan up top has the numbers for the codes.
Right, and if they use the reflection off of
like a mirror,
the mirror off of the projector, they can kind of strobe the fan so the fan looks like it's standing still, and then they can read the numbers.
Yep. So which they do, and they unlock the drawer, they get the key, and the two guys get out of there first. But for some reason, Michelle, she's like entranced by the film that's playing.
Because it looks like her repeatedly running through a room.
Right? Which is like, I guess, yeah, it would freak out anybody, right?
Right.
Because how did they get that image?
Right. And at this point, she's the one that's still convinced that this is a game. Mm-hmm. And she's like, how in the world did they loop me into this picture that quickly?
Right, because it is like one of those film reel projectors. It is not like a digital projector where you can like...
Right.
So, yeah, but then she tries to leave the room and it's happening to her.
Yes.
She's stuck in sort of like this loop that's just constantly like... to the point where when she goes out of one, she looks back to see herself in front of it.
Yeah.
Freaked me out. That is like one of those things where you're just going to be freaked out that you're trapped.
Right. Yeah, because the first time she does it, she's like, oh, this is cool. Because she totally feels like they've built another room that looks exactly like the room she just left. So she feels like she's in this loop. But then after she does it a number of times, she's like, wait a second. And that's when she looks back. And as she's leaving, she sees herself coming into the room. Yeah. And it's like, whoa.
Honestly, if it was me, I might have moonwalked a couple times and then had been like freaked out afterwards. But this is sort of like where we get like our first sort of final destination type of death.
Right.
Because like she tries to go up to what looks like a skylight.
Well, no, but first she tries to go the opposite direction than the loop, and she runs across Tony, her boyfriend.
Oh yeah, so she decides to not go through those little doorway looking type of deals. Yeah, and she explores the room more, and then she does run into Tyler, who is now hanging.
Yes,
he's totally dead.
He's dead.
I guess that's what happens when you ask to be awake in that house.
Apparently, they do not want you to leave.
Or at least they want you to
unless
beat the
you
game.
can finish the game. Yes. Right. Jumanji.
But yeah, so that's where she starts to freak out. She tries to go through the skylight, through the ladder, and then I forgot how somehow she just falls.
Well, because it's like an old rickety ladder, so
the one of the steps,
one of the frames
gives way, and then she just ends up with a knife looking type of tool.
Right, because she falls onto the edge of the table, and there's like a cup of like pens and stuff.
Like tools.
Yeah, and she smashes it right through her head. And it pops out her eye hole.
Yeah. So she's dead. But the guys get out a long time ago. They've been able to get out of the whole thing. And they're wondering where Michelle is because they're like, oh, the key's still in the hole.
Right. Why doesn't she just unlock it and come back out?
Yeah, but they don't know that she's actually trapped in this loop. Michael is totally pissed now. He thinks that Captain Pedo has something to do with the
because he was like, oh, like in his head, he's like, at the beginning, you made the joke that you were the plant so that no one would think you were the plant, but obviously you are.
Oh, man. Genius. So many layers.
But he wasn't.
So at that point, they decide to split up. Drew, like Andrew, he's totally he's done with him because he's sort of like, I mean, it's fair that he showed him this sort of aggression because his daughters seem to be infatuated with him. But he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go check downstairs. You look upstairs and we'll see what's going on.
Right.
At this point, Karen is still in the basement, totally freaking out in this freezer. The body next to her starts to like move its hand towards her.
Yeah.
Which is
super slow, but still definitely moving.
Right. And it's just like a really tense moment though, just because it's like getting closer and closer and she hears these things. But then all of a sudden Andrew opens the freezer door and pulls her out.
Right.
They explore the rest of that room and they're trying to look for the key because obviously he went back in, so it reclosed the door.
Yeah. And
they find out that the key is in this toilet.
It has not been flushed in a really long time.
It looks like one of those toilets that Bobby Lee uses. I don't know if you know Bobby Lee, but apparently there's an issue that he had not flushed his toilet had broke, but he kept pooping in it. And it looks like that. But Andrew, being the manly man that he is, he puts his hand in there first, looking for the key.
Right.
But then only is met with a dead hand.
Right.
Or a severed hand, and freaks out.
Yep.
And so Karen does it, and she tosses it, and then she gets the key to the grate that was in there. And so they escape through the grate.
Yeah, there's like a grate in the wall that was also locked. So that's pretty much it. You go into a room, you look, and you find the lock, and then you search to find the key that unlocks it. It's pretty standard room.
Right? But Karen goes first, and then Andrew follows. But then as they're going through, Andrew, he gets killed. You don't get to see how he gets killed, but you get to the photo or like the frame of the grate, and blood is just trickling out of it.
Right.
And so you just assume he's dead. I mean, I don't know who else's blood could
but
that be.
He's following her, and then all of a sudden he just stops and gets dragged backwards.
Which was like that one. I felt like I could see it coming, but it still got me. I was like, oh shit.
Right.
Andrew died. No, not Andrew. But while this is happening,
and up to that point, like, I honestly wasn't sure if he was
the plant,
a plant or not. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, but while this is happening, Michael is upstairs. It looks like the room, the doorway to like the master bedroom type of thing, opens up. He goes like knocking on another door, comes out, finds muddy footprints.
Right.
Coming from where he just came, which wasn't there before. But then he gets mesmerized by this photo. And all of a sudden he's outside. A woman comes out of the lake and starts to neck him. And then slowly but surely, the chains are on him.
Yep, and then there's this giant
wheel
crane
gear. It's a gear that's
in
like
the lake that
pulling
just
him in, right?
Starts turning and pulling him in.
Yeah, and then he ends up falling, and then he actually just ends up back in the house.
Right.
But then now you see that there's mud on his feet.
Right.
Which, oh my God, why is now he's the one who actually left the muddy footprints? Oh, it's our first indications of what they call in this movie a time echo, which is not a thing apparently because I tried to Google it. But yeah, at this point, he goes back into the room with the projector.
Right.
Finds Tyler's body hanging from there.
Yep.
And then hears his daughter scream because his daughter finds Michelle with the knife in her eye. She's dead.
Right, because the grate ends up coming out in that room.
Which I don't know how that works. It kind of felt like this movie was like half a cube. It felt like the rooms kept moving. Because how would like a grate that was in the basement lead up all the way unless there was like a ladder? I don't know. Movies, magic.
A slow incline.
So, is it like a hamster wheel that just goes around the house?
There we go. Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, so now finally father and daughter reunited.
Yep.
But then this is where like the time sort of like flips all over the place.
Right, because now the timers that were counting down the 60 minutes are flipping between like 5 minutes and 45 minutes just sporadically. And
so like you're wondering what's going on. Is it like a time dimension pocket type of deal? But they notice that the room actually has reset. And so this time Michael he doesn't have time for physics. And he just uses a steel pole to stop the fan to get the code. They get the key, and then when they open it, they end up in the first room that they were in.
Right.
But then they see Tyler, girl's boyfriend, escaping the second room trying to get out of the first room, and gets dragged by a shadow.
Yes.
And so they decide to solve that room again. Go to the communications room. They solve that one by getting the key out of Josie's stomach.
Right.
And at this point, the code that they used last time for the 1205 is actually 1202 now because there's only 2 of them left.
Yeah.
So the house is learning. It is Disney's smart house.
It's Disney's smart house. Haunted mansion.
But they find out that the key is actually in Josie's stomach. So they take it out, and then before the shadow can catch up to them, they open the front door and escape into a bathroom.
Right.
Which is like, what? Oh my God, they made it out. You know, this is one of the things that always freaked me out about horror stuff. Is like when you open a door and you're in another place, and it's just ghosts. It's just ghost fucking shit. But they actually end up in the bathroom where Karen was in previously in the movie or earlier in the movie. When the lights started flickering, and they're the ones that were actually watching them through, which it's still terrible. Gap through the stall, and then and this is where we actually come to the end of the film. They get out of the bathroom, they find their car, and then Michael's
right. They walk through the restaurant.
Yeah, everything seems normal.
They get they open the doors. They look out. Their car is out in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. There's a note that the guy says, "It was just a valve. Don't worry about it. Have a nice day."
Yeah.
And then they get into the car. And Michael goes, "Karen, look for the keys." And then Karen's like, "Dad, Dad." There's actually a lock on their glove compartment box, and then the ignition key is actually a house keyhole.
Yes.
And then end movie.
Yep.
This movie totally felt like a really long episode of The Twilight Zone.
I could see that.
Yep. Because it doesn't, it gives you, a lot of mixed emotions. I mean, how did you feel after you watched the movie, Kobe?
I loved the twist ending like that. There was a little bit of confusion because there was a lot of stuff that happened that got glazed over, and there was not really any kind of explanation. I would wish there was a little bit more explanation.
Oh, like for which parts?
Just like a lot of the movie kind of ran like The Shining. Mm-hmm. Like you didn't know if he was going crazy or if there was ghosts or if somebody was playing tricks on him. And here, obviously they're in an escape room, so it could be like this elaborate setup, and all the way through could be like the house set up to do and be these things until
right
until the girl fell and the thing poked through her head. That was the first time when you're like, oh, okay, well, it's not all part of the show.
Yeah. Oh, well, to me, I totally felt like they're like, oh, like the movie's trying to say that it's up to your, like, what is causing these things. Because, like, up to the point that we don't see the shadow figure,
right?
It kind of just felt like you're like, is the house haunted? Or is there a killer in the house? So it was sort of like that mystery to, like, where, like, less is more.
Right.
Sort of like early, like Halloween or The Thing, where like you don't know what's what.
Right, and then it was also, is the house haunted or is it in this time echo, and things are happening because somebody's in that room at some other time and affecting what you're seeing because they're in some other time.
Yeah, man, we're giving this writer a lot of credit.
Right, because I never really got ghost out of it.
Right, but then they gave you the shadow people, right?
Right, but that could have been like the echo of
like another person.
But they wouldn't have been killing each other,
right?
So,
or maybe it was just like indirect contact. Of like dragging, like see, it's a mind twister,
right?
It's a mind bender. But we're totally giving this writer a lot of credit. I don't know what they could have done with a bigger budget. I felt like them doing this way, like in a sort of like a contained atmosphere, not showing too much. Like with as far as like if it was supernatural, if it was if it was like haunted, or if there's a murderer. So I felt like what they say, like when you don't have like a high budget, you get creative with it. And so it felt like a really good, actually really decent movie for a TV movie.
Right. Oh yeah, no, then they definitely got creative.
Do you have any favorite parts for the film, Kobe?
Really, like once they entered the house, that whole first like 10 minutes, probably even through the whole first room, where there was no supernatural yet. It was like, this is a house, and this is the escape room. I loved that. I mean, like that was like, it made me. It was like, this is the escape room I want to go to. The escape house.
Well, I think because at that point, it sort of felt like it was going to be a psychology type of like thriller.
Right.
Where they're like, like in my mind, I was like, oh my God, how many puzzles are they going to have to solve before people start dying?
Right.
Until all the supernatural time hopping, time dimension pockets started going on. Yeah, I did have fun with this movie a lot too. I think the parts were like, my favorite part is probably Karen in the basement by herself, because that part in the film actually had the most like tense moments.
Right, but again, didn't show anything.
Right,
because she's hearing noises, so she's hiding, and then while she's hiding, you hear things outside of the.
Yeah, you hear like this
freezer.
Growling thing like that. Like the whole moment where she's pulling the cover over she's pulling the sheet off.
Yeah.
The tense moment of like the hand creeping closer and closer to her.
And it was one of those things where it was so slow that like maybe she disrupted the freezer and that body's just slowly thawing, and the heavy hand is just I mean, it was moving that slowly, and it never touched her or anything.
Yeah, it was like, it was actually pretty far from her.
Right.
But the fact that, like, this body that looks like it's been there forever, it's just slowly moving, is enough to, like send those chills down your spine.
Right. And somebody at the beginning made the joke that about the tea being like a hallucinogen or something in the tea, and so that was even running through my mind, like, is that part of this?
Oh, is it like a psychedelic trip that they're having?
Yeah, you give somebody a little bit of hallucinogen, and then you stick them into something where you're controlling the scariness, and their mind just goes bonkers with fear.
Right, and so yeah, there's just a ton of elements in this film I felt like they didn't really explain, and I don't think they had to explain, because it'll just loom in your mind, like, are they still
totally
high?
Right, yeah, because we wouldn't be talking about it like this if there was ghosts, or if they found a time machine, or
they were, like, just stuck in, like, this time loop.
Yes.
Or something, or like that. So yeah, I mean, kudos to the writer of this film. Hold on, let me see who actually. Oh nope. Yeah, Jesse Matil. I can't say that. That sounds French as hell.
But you said it was filmed in Canada, so probably French Canadian,
right? But yeah, it was actually it was just like a really fun movie to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially for a sci-fi
there was no slow parts. It didn't drag anywhere, where sometimes if you have a movie like this, there's parts where it's dragging, like you're waiting for the next jump scare.
Yeah.
But it was
I think this movie
enthralling.
earned. Yeah, I think this movie earned those, like, jump scares.
Right.
Or,
and
like,
it didn't do them in excess.
Exactly, because really you only got Josie in the closet.
Right.
That was a jump scare. What's it called? Her in the basement when, like, everything started changing. But it wasn't even like a jump scare. It was like more like, what the fuck?
Right.
And maybe even Andrew getting dragged out and killed.
Oh, okay, yes.
Like, it wasn't really a jump scare, but it's like, oh shit.
Right.
Kobe, how would you rate the film?
I like this one a lot. This would be one that I share with people. Our standard movie ratings are.
Yes, I forgot. Used DVD, new DVD, used Blu-ray, new Blu-ray, and Ultimate Collection.
I would definitely be interested in this in, like, an Ultimate Collection if it was like a box set of sci-fi movies, something like that.
Like sci-fi horror films?
Yeah. I would totally pick that up. I don't know if it would warrant Blu-ray. It actually probably might have some interesting special features.
Well, I feel like it would just have, like, maybe, like, the history of, like, escape rooms.
Right.
Or just, like,
maybe a little explanation. I don't know if I really want an explanation. Like, I want an explanation, but I don't know if I want one.
Like, it might seem better to just, like, keep it a mystery.
Yeah.
Because you could be like, man, what the fuck?
Right.
Because then I have had those moments, but then I needed an explanation. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, the movie Hereditary or Midsummer. It was, like, excessively long. Everyone said it's a horror film. It was just one of those movies that was just like, what the fuck?
Right. Like, there's a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Donnie Darko?
No. Where he runs into someone who looks...
Enemy. Right, with the tarantula?
And that movie is... It is well paced, but it is a slow movie, like a very slow burn. Mm-hmm. And then the end is like, what the fuck? Huh? Google, explain to me what this director meant by this ending.
Right. But this feels like one of those films that you don't need the explanation.
Right. Yeah.
You're just like,
oh yeah, no, you definitely that they're trapped.
Yeah. So what would you like, new DVD?
Yeah.
right? If Syfy came out with some DVDs for their movies,
right,
Kobe would get the whole collection.
I would. The whole shelf of Asylum films, probably.
He already has a good amount of Full Moon, so. Yeah, I totally probably would get this new DVD also. It's like a pretty fun watch. It's one of those movies that's easy to show people, and it's not like I super came into this movie with low expectations.
Right.
Because, sci-fi movies, they're sort of like garbage films, but they're fun garbage films. Syfy is like one of the only companies probably in cable that takes chances on like these really ridiculous like scripts, like freaking it's called Atlantic Rim or Arachnoquake.
Yep.
Sharknado 1 through 5.
Yeah, I think I'm often surprised that there's as many people who enjoy those kind of movies as we do. But there's got to be, because I mean, they keep putting them out.
Zombie tidal wave.
And I appreciate that they do.
But yeah, it is definitely, it's like Kobe always likes to say this, but it's easily one of those films you could put on at a party, and some people would like sit down, watch it, like, oh my god, and might get enthralled by what's gonna happen next, or
right.
But yeah, it has the ability to draw you in for the film in like the first like 20 minutes, and then sort of keep you sitting down for the next hour.
Right.
Because most sci-fi movies are only an hour and 30 minutes.
That's true, yeah.
But yeah, this is totally a fun movie. Definitely, I don't think they sell these movies on DVD. I think there's only digital. So,
but I appreciate Syfy running them on their Syfy channel,
right,
on demand, even if they throw in some funky Syfy commercials.
I do want that face hugger, face warmer. But then in that, I don't know how you see. There's no like eye holes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely if you have like any sort of TV service that gives you on demand. It's on Syfy's on-demand channel,
right,
or on-demand station. So you definitely just give it a watch, guys. Next week we are watching Killer Night, which is about a high school reunion gone wrong. What high school reunions don't go wrong?
That's true, right.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are at our time limit. But yeah, I'm Barry.
This is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Theme music by Rosevere. It's Arcade Montage. You can find it on the fma.com in the music album Music for Podcast 3.
Thank you.